It's time for a little comedy, a little content, and a lot of conversation. It's the Geno Jones Show, exclusively right here on YouTube. And now here's your host, Geno Jones.
Hey, what's happening, everybody? It is showtime. Man, I've been so busy I didn't get time to pop my collar. Excuse me. We normally don't do that on camera. Hey, you can see the sign behind me, the Geno Jones Show. You know how we get down. I come to you live Monday through Friday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern, 5:30 in Chicago, 3:30 p.m. on the west side, well, I was about to say the west side of Chicago. Out on the west coast, or the west side, as they say. How does Snoop and them do it? West side, out in L.A., maybe in the Bay Area, San Francisco, Oakland, up in Seattle, Washington, Portland, Oregon. Please, tell everybody you know. Everybody else, my man Nelly would say, tell everybody to subscribe to the Geno Jones Show. My goal is to get 1,000 new. I'm already a YouTube partner, but I want to go to that next level. I want to go to that club, Shay Shannon Sharp YouTube bag. So my media company, Geno Media, can start getting them real big YouTube checks, if you know what I'm saying. So thank you for your support in advance. Thank you for all those who have been supporting Geno Media and the Geno Jones Show for nearly 4 years. It'll be 4 years in October. We'll have a huge celebration. Man, time goes so fast. Subscribe, share, screen grab, rip the video. Leave your comments. If you're watching me live right now, you can join the conversation. I have a chat room where you can jump in live, and if you got a question, you got a comment, whatever you like, love, hate the show, whatever you get something, you got something to say, you got something on your mind, you got something you want to get off your chest, holler at your man. It's all good, right? Subscribe, share, screen grab, rip the video, leave your comments, like, binge watch all my back episodes. Once again, Monday through Friday, 6:30, we are live on the Geno Jones Show YouTube channel right now. And if you're not watching me, it's about, 6:34ish now, something like that, almost 6:35. Then whenever you're watching the show, if you can, watch it live. And if not, just go to my YouTube channel, and you can binge watch this and any back episode. So let me start off the show. Let me shout out Team USA. Yesterday, Sunday, Kevin Durant showed the world like, yo, USA basketball, damn it. We running this thing. Don't get it twisted. Yeah, look, you got talent all over the world. But once again, it's USA basketball, damn it. Kevin Durant put on a show. LeBron James was up in there like Superman, just knocking the Serbians over. They had this look like, Lord, save us from the black man. And Anthony Davis, so shout out to the Team USA men's basketball. They were dominant. They beat Serbia Sunday 110-184. And then today, the ladies. Yes, Team USA women's basketball beat the brakes off Japan. Shout out to Asia Wilson, a big star, right up the way. She was in college, won a national championship. University of South Carolina Lady Gamecocks. Speaking of the Lady Gamecocks, I got to stop and give a big shout out to my people. I love Coach Dawn Staley. She is the head coach. She was actually the head coach, the last gold medal women's basketball team in 2020. Actually, in Tokyo, it was in 2021. She was the head coach. So she's doing television now with a guy named Mike Tirico. So she's giving like her commentary during like halftime, before the game, and after the game commentary. Coach Staley, you're doing a great job. Outside of you could be and should be coaching in the NBA, because you could coach the NBA. The brothers would be like, oh, Coach Staley, she got game. She knows what she's talking about. But you did a great job on television on Sunday. So shout out to Coach Staley. But shout out to the women's basketball team, USA women's basketball. Like I said, they beat the brakes off Japan yesterday, 102-76. Asia Wilson, the best player, the best women's basketball player on the planet. Chelsea Gray, Breanna Stewart, they did their thing. And shout out to Simone Biles. She like tweaked her calf, and she was still killing the game. The U.S. women's gymnastic team is looks like to win another gold medal. And Simone has shown the world why she is the GOAT, the greatest of all time. And shout out to her teammates. Speaking of gymnasts, shout out to the USA men's gymnastics team. Because you know they've been slow, they've been lousy, slacking for years. But they got a medal. They got a bronze medal. So shout out to the men's gymnastic team. And they got 2 brothers on the team. And they got one dude on the team. He looked like Superman flying around on the bar. I saw him on these bars, flipping around, one arm. I'm like, yo, look out. We coming. That's all I want to say on that. So I want to bring on my guest. There's going to be a rally for president, vice president. No, I didn't make a mistake. My grandmother said, Jeannie, name it and claim it, speak it into existence. I'm speaking it into existence. Soon to be President-elect Kamala Harris. Currently, Vice President Kamala, and it's Kamala. You all stop messing up it now. Outside of that butthole, Orange Hitler, as we refer to him on this show, who said, I just pronounce the name, it don't matter. Say it any way I want to. That's why your ass is about to lose. All right? Because we are rebuking Satan in the name of Jesus, God, and everybody else. So this Wednesday is going to be a rally for currently Vice President Harris here in the Charleston, South Carolina metro area. Big shout out to State Representative Wendell Gilliard. Also, I've got 2 women who are a part of, sponsoring the event that you will see my guests coming up, Yvette Flowers and Kim Green. So you get to see them shortly. But let me just start off by let me just keep it 1,000. For all the brothers in the barbershop, some of the sisters in the hair salon too. They're still on this misinformation, disinformation on social media. Because y'all do understand that, you got the Russians and the Chinese that are sowing discord, and they want confusion and chaos and hatred, and they're promoting all the racist, stereotypical statements and lies, along with the MAGA cult about Vice President Kamala Harris, and people calling her, people who don't have half the intelligence or receipts and resume that Vice President have got the nerve to say. I saw 2 barely functional, functional. As a matter of fact, they look pretty illiterate. they didn't even look like they were functioning literate. MAGA cult members saying, well, I think she's dumb. Quite personally myself, I think she's dumb. All right, what you're not going to do. What we are not going to do, what I'm not going to let you do on this show, I stand 10 toes down for and with black women. So, and anyone that watches this show know what you are not going to do is I am not going to let you get away with these lies and disrespecting this incredibly accomplished woman. And for all this nonsense about, well, she ain't black enough, and her daddy and mama. Well, first of all, her father is Jamaican. And for some of you all who's too dumb to realize, for some of y'all dumbasses who don't realize, you do understand the brothers and sisters from Jamaica, their ancestors are from the same continent that our ancestors are here in America, the continent of Africa. So her dad is Jamaican, her mom is from India, but her mom raised her damn near in the hood. She raised her in Oakland, in the heart, because her mom was a civil rights activist. So her mom raised her around being a part of the entire civil rights movement and the Black Panthers. Did you all know that? No, you didn't know that, right? You didn't know that. Her mother raised her in the civil rights movement along with the Black Panthers. She went, Vice President Kamala Harris, for those of you all saying, well, I don't know, she ain't black enough and she married to a white man. Just hold on, partner. She went to Howard University, graduated top of her class, pledged a black sorority, AKA. Now, none of this matters, what I'm about to say, but since we having the conversation that we would have, because we keep it 1,000, Because I've been a part of these conversations. I've heard them in the barbershops. I've seen them online. Well, Geno, she married to a white man. Well, hold on, partner. Listen, she dated brothers. She was dating a brother named Willie Brown, who was the mayor of San Francisco at one time, and he was in the House of Representatives. She dated Montel Williams briefly back in 2001. Not that matters. But when you come to me with this, well, she hate black men. Well, no, not exactly. She don't hate black men. So stop with that BS. As a matter of fact, I had the honor I met her at least 3 times. There was about 4 years ago, maybe right before that, maybe 5 years, right before COVID. She was here, Black Expo. They had like a town hall. I had a chance to be one of the guest co-hosts. And then in 2020, when she was running for president, they had a big event here in South Carolina for all the Democratic candidates, and I had a chance to have a real good conversation to get to see the real Kamala Harris. So for all this foolishness about that she ain't black enough and that she hates black men. And oh, by the way, stop with she locked up a bunch of black men. No, actually she didn't. She didn't. When she was the San Francisco district attorney for Alameda County, which Alameda County is the county that San Francisco's in, and then when she was the California Attorney General. As a matter of fact, she had 2 guys, bosses, white men, who had more say in terms of who went to jail. And technically, if you want the receipts, she actually locked up more white men than she did black men, but the men and women that she locked up were people who were committing crimes. Now, did you know that California State's Attorney Kamala Harris, did you know she started a program called Back on Track? Yeah, Google Kamala Harris Back on Track program. Now you're saying, what is the Back on Track program? It's a program to where anyone who was in jail, who you served your sentence, when you were released, everyone who was released from jail after serving their time, this program, the Back on Track program, helped those former inmates, when they got out, to get back on track with a job and housing. Everyone. She also took a lot of heat when she was the San Francisco district attorney, because a lot of the police, they wanted to lock up a lot of the women who would get arrested. They were arresting a lot of women for prostitution. So at the time, Attorney General, I should say the San Francisco district attorney, Kamala Harris, was getting a lot of heat from the San Francisco Police Department, because then District Attorney Kamala Harris, instead of focusing on convicting these women for prostitution, she would get them help if they wanted to leave that life. So, as they say, do your homework or do your research. You can Google that about Vice President Kamala Harris. Let me bring my guest on. Thank you for being so patient. One, she is the Secretary and Treasurer for the ILA, International Longshoremen's Association, Local Chapter 1422, right here in the state of South Carolina. Yvette Flowers, and also former Senate candidate Kim Green. Let me welcome these 2 beautiful black queens to the show. Ladies and gentlemen, I introduce to you Yvette Flowers, and Kim Green has got her picture back up. Kim, we're going to get you on camera now. You beautifully melanated queens. There you go. And we're not going to be shy and bashful. See, we don't do that on the Geno Jones show. Not at all. So I want to welcome both of you ladies. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you for your patience. Like I said, listen, I've always stood 10 toes down with and for black women. I was raised in the house with my grandmother, my mother, and my 2 sisters, along with me and my grandfather. So, and then for my wife and my 2 daughters. So I've always been 10 toes down. I've seen the struggles that from my grandmother to my mother, overcoming domestic violence and health challenges. So I just don't tolerate folks coming for women, period, but especially for black women with the foolishness. As my grandfather said, he couldn't stand fool. I can't stand foolishness, and he would say it just like that. So I have zero tolerance for foolishness and lies. So I digress. That's just my editorial. Has nothing to do with you all. I'm not drawing you all into my fire. But I'm excited. Speaking of Vice President, as I speak it into existence, I can hear my grandmother saying, Jeannie, name it and claim it. Speak it into existence. Soon to be President-elect Kamala Harris. There's going to be a rally here this Wednesday at the International Longshoremen's Association Hall. That's near downtown Charleston. And you two ladies are very prominent reason why it's going to happen. So I want to turn over the mic or the camera, whoever wants to take it away first. I don't know if Yvette or Kim, you want to kind of give us the origin story about the event. And we know why it's so important, but just share your perspective on the event and just how does it make you feel as a black woman, because I've always said this, and it's obvious to anybody, even Stevie Wonder could see it. In America, patriarchy, sexism, and misogyny and racism are like first cousins. And unfortunately, black women, and I'm sure you all had to deal with the patriarchy, misogyny, and sexism, along with the racism on top. As our good brother Wendell Gilliard just joined the show. So who wants to take it away first?
I'll let the list go first.
Go ahead, Kim.
Ladies first.
Yes, go ahead, Kim.
Thank you, Geno Jones, for having each of us. This is a collective effort between State Representative Wendell Gilliard, Charles Braves, the International Longshoremen President, Local 1422, Yvette Flowers, the Secretary and Treasurer for the ILA, also speaking for the women of ILA, and then myself as a former public servant, a candidate, but continuing as a public service. But this is a call to action for everything that you have outlined. This is our moment, and this is our chance to make a difference. That's why the names I just called, we came together to rally behind Kamala Harris. There is excitement just sweeping across the political landscape of America. And right here in Charleston, South Carolina, we are going to get together, rally, show the excitement and the support that we want to ensure that Kamala Harris makes it to the White House. You mentioned so many issues, divisive issues that are going on in the world right now. And this is going to be a political milestone. Again, it's a historic moment for all of us. And as you mentioned, seeing a woman of African and South Asian descent on a major party ticket, it does affirm the progress that we've made, but we have a long, long way to go. So the alarm clock is ringing. So I'm going to go ahead and turn it over. State Representative Wendell Gilliard, we're going to let you step in between the women, and we're going to let Yvette come in and anchor it for us. But go ahead and speak to us in your own voice about the alarm clock is ringing and why we're doing, again, what we're doing.
Yeah, you did a great job, Ms. Green. It's good to see Ms. Flowers here. In the case you hadn't noticed, I came home just 15 minutes ago. Guess what I got in the mail? The T-shirt.
I see.
All right.
So I went on to put on the T-shirt. I don't want Ms. Flowers or Ms. Green to get mad with me, but it just came in the mail, and I was very proud of that. But definitely, our good friend Bakari Sellers, and I'm dubbing him Black Moses of politics now, because this young man, he's young, he's energetic. He has what we would call a grassroots platform as for we the people. He started a movement along with many other Black men, 40,000 plus last week. And I was so elated to see them do that. And one thing came out of that message is the fact that they all decided to put their personal differences aside and work for the bigger cause. And the bigger cause is getting the vice president elected as the first Black female president of these great United States, Vice President Harris. We are throwing our energy and our commitment behind her. And when when Bakari and I started talking, I said, you know what? Let me get with some key people back in Charleston. And the first person came to mind was Miss Green and Miss Flowers. These two Black, beautiful females are well known in the community. They're very active. And I can't say enough about these ladies and the things that they're doing here, not only in Charleston, but throughout the state of South Carolina. We should all feel proud of that. So I'm glad to see them step up to the plate and took this thing over and doing the tremendous job that they're doing. I'm very proud of them, you know. But not only the 40 plus thousand Black men stood up last week, we had the tens of thousands of Black women who were really first out the gate with this movement. And they sent a strong message, a signal throughout the world, not just out this state or the country, but throughout the world, that they're going to take this under their control, and they're going to step up to the plate, and they're going to make this thing come to fruition. It's nowhere in the world, nobody can say that the Vice President, Ms. Harris, is not ready. She is ready, just like a pilot is to a co-pilot. If the pilot moves aside, then guess who takes over? Well equipped, well knowledge, and she's just ready. And we have to accept that. There's no way, two ways about it, okay? Now, I'm also surprised, you know, what caught me by surprise is the tens of thousands white females that stood up. You know, this is a strong movement. This is a movement in history that will live for eternity. But the thing is, we have to grasp the energy. Don't ever think that when you get a surge in energy throughout the country as it pertains to politics, then you just let it sit out there and don't engage, don't get committed, and get other people involved. That's what this rally is all about. And just like Ms. Flowers and Ms. Green, all of us agree, Geno, that the most important thing about this movement that we have to let the people know, just like you keep your eyes on the national election, the other elections statewide is so important. The local elections are so important, just as important as. And that's one message that we're going to drive home come to this rally. So that's me. I'm going to shut my mouth and let Ms. Flowers go ahead and take the helm.
Well, we do appreciate all that's going on. We at ILA Local 1422, all the women are so enthused about trying to help Vice President Kamala Harris become president of the United States. You know, throughout time, women has held the world down, regardless of what they want to think. We have been the mothers, the leaders, the house cleaners, we've done every job out there. Why can't we be the president of the United States? So I'm speaking for the women of ILA Local 1422. We are 100% behind her. Our heels are ready to go to that ground. We're ready to work to get her elected. And that's what we hope and we see coming. Now, remember now when Biden came to South Carolina, that was a big endorsement for him.
Yes.
Our community here in
campaign.
Charleston, our community here in Charleston stepped up to the plate. I can see our community here in Charleston stepping up to the plate for Vice President Harris and all the ladies, men, and whoever that's going to support her. We all are ready. We understand the assignment, understand? So I can't wait to get visible in this campaign, and I can't wait for the rally. We are thankful that you guys, Wendell, as well as you, Ms. Green, chose to come to ILA Hall. Our address, or anybody, if they don't know, it is 1142 Morrison Drive, downtown Charleston. So Our doors will be opening around 6:30. So we look to see all the community. Please come by. We also want to make mention that we do have a clear bag policy. We'd like for you not to bring any big bags, just clear bags, because we will be checking that as well. We would love to see the whole community come out, but if you can't come out, know that eventually we're going to do this again because we got a lot of work to do between now and the
Yes.
election.
So, Yvette and Kim, if you don't mind, I would love to get, I want to get your personal takes and perspective. You both are accomplished women. I'm sure you both have had to navigate, like I mentioned
Ooh.
not too long ago, just overall racism, and then to combine with that the misogyny, the sexism, and the patriarchy. What does it mean to you personally to see Vice President Kamala Harris in a position to step into the most powerful position in the free world? And what have been, you can't really speak to her personally, but I'm sure you all have similar journeys. What does it take to navigate those landmines that we just talked about in terms of the racism with the misogyny and sexism, especially for Black women?
I'll
Well,
take
I
that
can
one
speak
first.
on.
Oh,
Oh,
go
okay.
ahead, Yvette. Go ahead.
Well, being the fact that I work in an all male dominated industry. I was elected Secretary Treasurer in 2009. So I feel that all the time. It's very hard in my industry for women to get to a certain level.
Mm.
I have been in this job for a long time, almost 17 years, but it's still, there's issues and places that women are not allowed. In my industry, I am the first, I just got elected in March, the first Assistant Secretary Treasurer of our Southeastern and Dock Marine Council. They have never had a woman sit in that position. So
Wow.
I know what a first feels like.
Hmm.
And that position and some other position within the ILA. I would love to see them do a lot more. Eventually that will happen, if not for me, for someone else. But we as the women that work in these different industries, we have to work hard. We have to work harder than the men to accomplish these different areas because sometimes men don't want you to be there. So you just have to do what you can, keep things 100 and keep pushing forward. Women, I always like to say that women take defeat way better than men. Light as you take it,
I would
we
agree.
do.
Yes, I would agree.
We
Yes.
keep it moving. We can lose the day, but we're there tomorrow. But men take it a little different.
Yeah,
I
we
don't
do.
know if anybody else would agree to that,
No,
but I have
I'm
seen it.
look. I'm not gonna listen. Listen, Yvette. I'm gonna stand 10 toes down. I'm not gonna speak for Wendell, but I'm gonna keep it 1,000. Yeah, we do. Because even as Black men, there's still a privilege that we still have being males. That we don't have to deal with the misogyny and the sexism
Right.
because unfortunately, too many times, Black
Mhm.
women have to deal with misogyny and sexism from
Mhm.
Yeah,
men that look like them.
Mhm.
true.
Yep, yep.
And I
Yeah.
just
Now
want to
I can't.
echo what Yvette was just saying, because as women who have traveled the journey similar to herself and also our Vice President Kamala Harris, we do have to be persistent. We also have to be resilient. And unfortunately, we hear people from the other side, 45 and his vice presidential person who he selected, even talking about illegal immigrants, why they should not be here and to start to pack your bag. And that this is a great country that gives opportunity, but they're talking out of one cheek and then telling people to get out of the country. So how do they feel about us, who we were brought here historically against our own will? Where's the Christianity in that rhetoric? So we are still fighting obstacles, but we do have a future to look too, because again, as I mentioned, we have our first Asian, our first, Black female descent that is offering herself for the highest position in our country. And it's alarming. Why I said the alarm clock is ringing. It is very alarming to hear 45, who wants to be president again, talking about telling Christians, just vote one more time and you won't have to do it anymore.
Yeah, said it this weekend. You're right. Yes.
Yeah. So he's not forecasting a democracy. So we need to wake up. We need to read between the lines and understand what we are up against. There's so many opportunities out there for us to unite. That is the purpose of this rally, so that all of our citizens can hear what is at stake, what we need to do, how we need to unite, and how we need to walk united to get Kamala Harris into the presidency come November.
And Wendell, there's going to be some other featured speakers. I'll let you tell everybody who's going to be some of those speakers.
Well, we got many. I know we're going to have some fantastic speakers. Local 1422, beginning with Ms. Flowers and the other woman of local 1422. We also going to have in the audience by satellite, we need to make that plain, is Bakari Sellers. And no need, he doesn't need any introduction at this point. We've got other speakers. We have some local pastors, local community activists. And we just look forward to this being a great rally, a great kickoff, a very historic kickoff. But once again, I want to reiterate the fact that our message is going to be strong, to the point. I'm glad Ms. Green touched on the thing with the, I call them hashtag 45, because it's nowhere on God's earth that a man who created the January 6th insurrection should be running for anything in this country, let alone the world. Because can you imagine if he was a Black president and doing the things that this guy gets away with? My God, you know what I mean?
He would have never got near the White House.
Yeah, yes.
Never.
Yes.
Yeah,
the jury is definitely out on him. They have decided, and that's why he has 34 counts of being a felon. And my whole thing with my Black brothers and sisters and people of colors out there, how could you elect a man who had not only shown you, but he also made the statement calling the motherland of Africa and I'm being kind.
No, you come on, Wendell. You ain't got to tell. I'll say it for you. Shithole countries. That's exactly what he said, and he meant it.
You're right. And then the arrogance and the hatred and all that. Africa is not a country. you see what I'm saying?
Continent.
It's a freaking continent.
He wouldn't know.
And, it's the cradle of civilization is what I tell people, okay? Because when you look at the knowledge and the history of the motherland, all the modern day historians and archaeologists now all agree that the cradle of creation is in the motherland. How dare you curse the motherland?
Yes.
Don't ever curse the motherland.
That's an anthropological fact. I mean, don't take our word for it. Google it.
Yes, fact check me is what I always tell people. And then it seems funny if you fast forward up to a couple of weeks ago, just before the Republican convention or whatever. Here you had assassination attempt on his very life. Now, nobody wants nobody to be assassinated, okay? But my God, shouldn't we be talking about getting rid of assault weapons? Has anybody heard any discussion on this thing? Just trying to play this man up like he's a modern day, hero or something like that. My God, we have to understand what's being played before our eyes, and we should never let the news media control the narrative. That's our problem. But hopefully all this will come out of this rally. We want to motivate, inoculate, and educate people out here to let them know that we're all in this as a family. There is no higher, no lower. It's a level playing field here for everybody, as our good friend Reverend Jackson would always teach and preach. So that's my comment on that.
And Wendell, before I let Kim, I don't know if that was Kim or Yvette, I want you to finish that thought, but I wanted to get confirmation from you all, along with a call to action. If I'm correct, people can get information about canvassing, about volunteering, and other things, because we all have a part to play. Everybody can do
and
something.
Voter registration.
Yes,
and voter registration. We'll have that as well. But I just wanted to say that we all need to pay attention to this Project 2025 document. I have been digging into that. When you hear stories on the news, they tell you exactly where to go at in that document to read it for yourself. There's a lot of problems with that document. That document, they're trying to take us all the way back, not some of the way back, all the way back with that document. And we can't, as people of color, that includes everyone from Black, brown, everybody. We all need to pay attention, because the agenda that they have is never up front. It's always behind the scenes.
Well, you know, Yvette Flowers, it's funny that you mentioned that, because Wendell could tell you, I've been talking about Project 2025 for about a year now, or longer, and everything. And the simplest way for me to describe it is that it is a 922-page blueprint, basically to create, by legislation, executive actions, official acts, and others, to take us back like a Jim Crow era 2.0 and the suffrage era 2.0. Because basically, like you said, it's taking us back to not 1924, 1824.
Yeah, it will definitely complement the move of some of the 9 U.S. justices that surely, by their actions a couple of weeks ago, told him that you are now living in a monarch and you have an iron ass. And we,
what is it? Absolute immunity when it comes to official acts. Now he gets to decide what's an official act. So like Project 2025 says, there's a part to where they want to militarize local police. So if there's a peaceful protest, like in Chicago, from Sonia Massey, who was murdered by this racist cop. If you had people peacefully protesting, the man who I so affectionately refer to on this show as Orange Hitler, by an official act, could send the National Guard, the Marines, the Army into cities to shoot, basically shoot to kill.
And remember, they strategically, when people started reading it, they pulled it down off the Republican websites. All over.
Well, you know, Wendell, let me say this. Now, here's the interesting fact to that. Do you know when that was pulled down from the Project 2025 website?
Go ahead.
Days after Black women, and then the brothers followed, had the big rallies last week.
Amen.
It was up there all that time. They were bold with it. Stuck their full chest out. Like, what y'all gonna do? Y'all don't read anyway. We gonna keep it up there. Well, Black women and Black men, they effed around and found out that Black folks are not playing, and not just Black people, Hispanics. You had 160,000 white women that was giving Black women the props they deserved, and said, "Look, we following you all's lead."
And I'm so proud that people of all races and gender are waking up now.
The white dudes, Wendell. So the white dudes for Harris are happening.
They're asking when can they have their call, because it has been Black women followed by the Black men followed by the white women. So the white men are asking, when can we have our call?
When can they have theirs?
We
That's
do
right.
want people to know this rally is for the entire community. The Democratic, Charleston County Democratic Party. They will be out there. We talked about volunteering and canvassing. So this is for a cross section of the community, for all like-minded people. So we want everyone to come out.
Amen.
Come out.
And let me
to see
remind
us.
everybody, because we've had such an overwhelming response, we ask that you go to Eventbrite and to get a ticket so that we can continue to plan to accommodate you for when you get down there. We have volunteers,
Right.
but we want to make sure we can accommodate everybody that wants to come. So please go to Eventbrite, look up the Kamala Harris rally in Charleston at 1142 Morrison Drive. Get your ticket. It is free. And we look forward to
Mhm.
seeing you. The doors will open at 5:30 and we will
5:30.
begin our program at 6:30, from 6:30 to 8 o'clock. And as Miss Yvette Flowers shared, we do have a clear bag policy. No backpacks will be allowed. No large purses will be allowed. Leave them in your vehicles.
Very
So,
good. Very
Senate candidate Kim Green, Yvette Flowers, Secretary and Treasurer with the ILA, International Longshoremen's Association, Local 1422, and Representative Wendell Gilliard. Thank you all. We will see you. I'm the honor to host that this Wednesday night. Like you said, it starts at 6:30. Once again, to get those tickets and get some information. If people want to already sign up to maybe in terms of volunteering, canvassing, helping with voter registration, is there a website that they can go to before Wednesday and sign up?
They can reach out to the organizer, and I'm going to give a telephone number, if that's okay, Gino.
Yes, absolutely.
The number is 864-270-3784.
All right.
864-270-3784. Ask for Mr. Campbell.
Thank you all. And I'm honored to be a part of this event, so I thank you. I am 10 toes down because I'm just going to wrap the segment up by saying, and I've been speaking especially to my young brothers and sisters, my millennials and my Gen Zs who have the power, because there are more millennials and the largest demographic group by age are millennials and Gen Zs. You have the power. You have the power. I don't care what rapper or whoever. I don't care if it's your mama, whoever's telling you that your vote doesn't count, they are lying to you, because you got the power and you got the numbers. There was a song back in the 90s, it was like a party song. I got the power. You got the power.
Oh,
and the reason that people are lying to you and telling you that you don't have the power and trying to discourage you, because they are afraid if you wake up collectively and come together and step into your power, there's nothing they can do about it.
Nothing you can do.
nothing.
That's right.
Nothing. Thank you all.
Nothing.
We'll see everybody Wednesday. Thanks again.
All right. Thank you. Bye-bye.
All right. I want to thank everybody for joining. I got to click a button here. There we go. Once again, Representative Wendell Gilliard. Also, I got to get back on camera myself. Thank you to Representative Wendell Gilliard. Also, thank you to former Senate candidate Kim Green. Thank you to Yvette Flowers, Secretary and Treasurer for the ILA. That's International Longshoremen's Association, the local chapter here in Charleston, South Carolina, 1422. Thank you for letting me be a part of your life. As always, God bless each and every one of you. You, and especially you, most of all, God, thank you for letting me do the Geno Show. Programming note, so there will be no live show on Wednesday, because what I'm going to be doing, I will be hosting the town hall and the call to action for Vice President Kamala Harris, the rally that they're having for Vice President Kamala Harris that you just heard us talking about. My plan is to see if we can get video. Hopefully we can record it on Zoom, and I can play it back on the show. So in case you don't get to make it, or those who are watching me from all over the world, you'll get a chance to see the energy and the conversation from that momentous event. So no live show Wednesday. It'll be the best of the Geno Jones Show, but I'll be back live tomorrow, Tuesday, or today, depending on when you're watching the show, if you're not watching me live. 6:30 p.m. Eastern, 5:30 in Chicago, 3:30 p.m. on the West Coast. Once again, tell everybody to subscribe to the Geno Jones Show YouTube channel. Subscribe, share, screen grab, rip the video, leave your comments, in the comment section, like and binge watch all my back episodes. And when I'm on camera live, Monday through Friday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern, please join the conversation. If you got a question, you got a comment, you want to argue with me, you want to have a debate or whatever, like, love, hate the show, whatever, feel free to jump in the chat room and give me your comments. And please leave your comments in the comment section right here on my YouTube page. All right, everybody. Shout out to Mr. Markel Bailey, the official barber and hairstylist for the Geno Jones Show. He's the CEO of Designer Cuts here in the Charleston, South Carolina metro. Check him out on IG, on Instagram, Kel B Cutting Up, KELBECUTTINUP. And Allie Jones, the official wardrobe consultant for the Geno Jones Show. Check her and her Alexi Jones collection, LX.NCL_. LX.NCL_. We'll see you live Tuesday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern. Once again, thank you for watching, everybody. I love you. Have a great day, or afternoon, or evening, whenever. Just be blessed.
Subscribe and tune in to the next episode of The Geno Jones Show, exclusively right here on YouTube.